Hello friends, welcome to our channel Brain Alive. In this video, we will study full wave rectifiers. There are two types of rectifiers, center tap full wave rectifier and bridge rectifier. In case of full wave rectifier, we use both half cycles of the AC input signal. This is the circuit diagram of center tap full wave rectifier. Here at the primary of this transformer, we apply AC input supply. And according to our use, we use step down or step up transformer. This is step up transformer, and we will center tap the secondary of the transformer winding. Here we will use two diodes. These two diodes will work alternatingly. This is the input signal that we are applying at the primary of the transformer. Here the maximum voltage is plus Vm and the negative is minus Vm. Now we will see working of this rectifier. When we apply AC input signal in both upper half and the lower half winding, there is development of Vm, the maximum voltage of the AC input signal. During positive half of the input signal, this terminal M is positive and this terminal N is negative with respect to this center tap. This is here the voltage, because this is ground terminal, so here the voltage is 0. Now during positive half, when this terminal is positive, this diode is forward bias and this diode is reverse bias, so there will be no conduction of current through this diode because it is reverse biased, and this is forward biased, so the current will flow in this direction. This red mark show the flow of current in this direction here through RL from A to B and again to the up to the ground. So this is the path of the current, that is through which the current is flowing. So here will be output across this RL. So the output when the diode D1 is conducting is like this. From 0 to pi we will get the same wave as we have at the input of the rectifier. Now during negative half cycle, this diode is reverse bias, so through this diode there will be no flow of current. So the output during negative half cycle from pi to 2 pi, there is no output due to this diode only. When the diode D1 is conducting, let the current I that is flowing through this diode is equals to Im sin omega t for the period 0 to pi, because diode is conducting during this period 0 to pi, and from pi to 2 pi this diode is not conducting, so current is 0 for this period. Now here Im is equals to Vm upon Rf plus RL. This Rf is the diode resistance when this diode is conducting, and RL is the load resistance. So maximum current will be equals to maximum voltage upon the total resistance. During negative half cycle from period pi to 2 pi, this terminal M is negative and this terminal N is positive. So the diode D1 is reversed bias and no current is flowing through this diode, and the diode D2 is forward bias, so the current flowing through this diode. Now the path of the current will be from positive through this diode and through this resistance RL from A to B and to the ground. So the path of the current is this, and we can see the direction of the current through this RL from A to B, and this is same as in the case of positive half cycle from A to B. So output in this case will be pi to 2 pi, we are getting output from pi to 2 pi, and the next negative half cycle from 3 pi to 4 pi and so on. So we are getting current during negative half cycle. When diode D2 is conducting, let the current is I2, and this I2 is 0 for the period 0 to pi, because this is positive half cycle and no current is flowing through this diode D2 in this period. And I2 is equals to minus Im sin omega t for the period pi to 2 pi. From pi to 2 pi, as the maximum input voltage is minus Vm, so the current will be maximum. This is minus Vm because input is negative in this case. Now the total current flowing through RL is I equals to I1 plus I2, and this current is due to positive half cycle, this is due to positive half cycle, and this is due to negative half cycle, again positive half cycle and negative half cycle. So the total output is this one. And the waveform of the current IL will look like this. This is the maximum value of the current, and the waveform of the load current will be the same as that of the output voltage. Now we'll find the different expression for different parameters of the rectifier. First one is IDC. This is average current. As we know, the average current is also a sine wave, because input current is also a sine wave. So average current, we can find this by integrating this sine wave from period 0 to 2 pi and dividing this by total time period, or the time period of the sine wave. This is 2 pi. So IDC equals to 1 upon 2 pi. This is time period, and the integration from 0 to 2 pi I d omega t. As we know, this I is equals to I1 plus I2. Now we will put the value of this I1 and I2, and the expressions become for I1 and I2 equals to 1 upon 2 pi 0 to 2 pi I1 d omega t plus 1 upon 2 pi 0 to 2 pi I2 d omega t. Now we will put the values of this I1 and I2. We know the value of I1 is equals to Im sin omega t for the period 0 से 0 to pi, and I1 is 0 for pi to 2 pi. So the expression is Im sin omega t and 0 for the positive half cycle, and for negative half cycle it is 0, and I2 is equals to minus Im sin omega t d omega t for the period pi to 2 pi. This is the expression for D, for the expression for I2. For first period it is 0, and for second period it is minus Im sin omega t. Now we solve these equations. We will take the constant term Im out of the integration sign and integrate these two equations. Integration of sin omega t is minus cos omega t. Here it is also. Now we will apply the limits from 0 to pi. Now after applying the limits, we will get this equation, and after solving this equation we will get as cos pi is minus 1 and cos 0 is 1. So after solving this we will get only 2, and after solving this the value of cos 2 pi is 1 and value of cos pi is minus 1. After solving this we will get minus 2. This 2 and 2 will be cancelled out. So the expression for IDC is equals to 2 Im upon pi, and this is equals to 0.636 Im. After calculating the value of 2 upon pi, this is equals to this. Now DC output voltage. This DC output voltage is equals to IDC into RL, because this current is flowing through RL. So the output equals to VDC equals to value of this IDC is 2 Im upon pi into RL. So it will be equals to 0.636 Im into RL. Now we will find the RMS value of the current. This is the load current or the output current that is flowing in RL. As we can see, this is same throughout. So the period of this wave is 0 to pi. Now to calculate the RMS value, this is root mean square value. So we will integrate the square of the current from period 0 to 2 pi and then divide by this period. So this is the mean value. This is mean value. Then we will find the root. Now we will put the value of this I, and this I is equals to Im sin omega t. Now we will take the term Im because it is constant term, so we will take it out of integration sign and solve for this. Using this formula we will put the value of sine square. So the sine square is 1 minus cos 2 omega t upon 2 d omega t. Now after solving this, after integrating this, we will get omega t for 1 and minus sine omega t upon 2. This is the integration of cos 2 omega t, and applying limits from 0 to pi we will get this equation. This is same. Apply limits. As we know, the value of sine 2 pi is 0, so thus this term becomes 0, and this term also becomes 0 because value of sine 0 is 0. So we will get from here only pi. This pi and pi cancel out. The final value of RMS value of the current is equals to Im upon 2 under root 2. Now we'll find the expression for rectifier efficiency. Efficiency is equals to power of DC power that we are getting at the output and AC power that we are feeding at the rectifier at the input. So now we'll find PDC equals to IDC square. This is DC current into RL. This is equals to IDC. We have find this is 2m upon pi. After squaring we will get 4im square upon pi square into RL. For calculating AC values we always use RMS values of the current. So square of RMS current into RF plus RL. This is forward resistance of the diode when diode is forward bias. This is equals to, we have calculated RMS value of the current is Im upon under root 2. The value is calculated here into RF plus RL. This becomes Im square upon 2 RF plus RL. After putting these equations, after putting this value and this value in this equation, we will get this one. This Im square are cancels out and we will get 4 RL upon pi square into this will be reciprocal, so it will be 2 upon RF plus RL. After calculating we will get this value. Now we will divide numerator and denominator by RL. After dividing numerator and denominator we will get 1 upon 1 plus RF upon RL. So as this RF is much less than this RL value, so this term becomes 1. So the output is 8 upon pi r square. After calculating the value of this 8 upon pi r square we will get 81.2%. Now we will calculate ripple factor. Ripple factor is the AC component in the output, and we know that the current flowing through the RL is equals to IL, and this IL has both DC component and AC component. The RMS value of this IL is IRMS and this is IDC, and the RMS value of this AC component is this. Formula for ripple factor is RMS value of AC component divided by the DC value of the wave. Now by using Pythagoras theorem, because this is a right angle and these three currents are related by this right angle, so we can calculate the value of this RMS value of AC component. So the RMS value of AC component is equals to root of IRMS square minus IDC square. Now using this value we will calculate ripple factor. Now we will put RMS value of AC component is 1 that we have calculated here and IDC. After manipulating this equation we will get this equation IRMS upon IDC square minus 1 and root of this whole this value. We have represented this IRMS upon IDC by F, and this F is the form factor. So the equation becomes F square minus 1. So value of IRMS is Im upon under root 2 pi as we have calculated earlier, and the value of IDC is equals to 2Im upon pi. After calculating this we will get value 48%. So the ripple in case of center tap full wave rectifier is 48%. Now we will find peak inverse voltage across the diode D1 and D2. First we should know peak inverse voltage. Peak inverse voltage is the maximum possible reverse voltage that we can apply across a reversed bias diode. It should be below maximum rating, otherwise the diode will get damaged. Here we know during positive half cycle this is positive and this is negative, so this diode is reverse bias, and in lower half there is Vm, and when this diode is conducting, D1 is conducting, so the voltage that is developed across this RL is also Vm, and these two voltages are in series, so addition of these two voltages is coming across this diode. So the voltage, peak inverse voltage across this diode is 2 Vm. And also during negative half cycle, this diode is forward bias and this is reverse bias, and the same condition arises. This voltage is added to this voltage because it is positive in this case and it is negative. Similarly, the voltage that is coming across D1 when this diode is reversed bias, this is also equals to 2 Vm. The next parameter is regulation. Regulation is variation of DC voltage when the IDC or the load current varies. A good power supply is that which has no load voltage equals to full load voltage. So we will calculate here VDC. We know VDC is equals to 2Im upon pi into RL. Now we will put the value of this Im. The value of this Im is Vm upon Rf plus RL. This Rf is the forward distance of the diode. Now 2 Vm upon pi is separated from this RL upon Rf plus RL. We can write this as 1 because if we solve this, we will get again this value. So we can write this equation as this one. Now after solving, 2 Vm upon pi minus 2 Vm into Rf upon pi Rf plus RL. The value of this is equals to Im because Im is equals to Vm upon Rf plus RL. So 2 Im upon pi into Rf. As this expression is of IDC, so we will put IDC here into Rf. At no load, this IDC is equals to 0 because no current flowing when there is no load. So VDC is equals to 2 Vm upon pi, and when there is some load, IDC will increase and then VDC will decrease. But by using suitable regulators, this RF can be reduced to a fraction of ohm so that we can get a VDC that is independent of this IDC. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching the video.